Today, we are here to do something or other.
Hey,
Yes.
everybody.
I'm literally just kind of out of it. I didn't even wake up till 4 p.m. today. Like I'm barely alive yet. Well, how is everybody doing? You can't answer because you're through the magic of the internet. So
We hope you're doing
yeah,
okay,
we hope you're
everybody.
okay.
Hope you're better than us at some point.
Yep, she's not feeling well, so we're gonna do a really
Not
short episode today.
not COVID. I do not have the beer virus. I have an ear infection, which is weird being middle aged and having my first ear infection ever, but it sucks. So
Yes, and I was telling her I get them all the time, but it's partially because I have um OCD for cleaning my ears. Like I clean my ears all the time. And I also have allergies and those don't mix very well apparently because I
mm,
get I get ear infections like 2 or 3 times a year at least.
I feel
Sometimes more.
you. I couldn't live like this, which is weird. I have no ear pain at all. There's no pain. They're just full of fluid and there's pressure and I feel like I'm coming down with the flu, which is why I went and went to the doctor like, do I have corona? What's going on with me? I have fever, I have chills, I don't feel good. I feel like there's peach fuzz covering my brain. Am I dying? And she's like, you have a double ear infection. So I was like, of course, make mine a double, like with everything. So whatever
And make
works.
mine a double deal with it, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, hey, but I'm not contagious, right? At least it's nothing I'm going to spread to my family or be put on a ventilator for unless it infects my
Exactly.
brain. So I'm okay. I'm all right.
Yep. You just gotta suffer through it. That's what I have to do because
Yeah.
I can't. All right, today's episode is brought to you by the letter P. No, I'm kidding. Um, I just felt like that
Oh,
throwing that
oh,
in there.
oh. No, wait, that's letters, isn't
That's
it?
the
Or
count. Yeah,
or numbers, yeah.
yeah, that would be the numbers. You're confusing your Sesame Street. God.
I am. It's been a
Speaking of
couple of
speaking
years.
of which, she put her name in our recording as Grand Poobah, and I was like, she was like, I don't even know where that's from. It just popped in my head. I'm like, it sounds like the Flintstones, and then we looked it up, and it actually
It
was.
was the
It was from the
Flintstones and
Flintstones, and she was like, I can't believe that remembered that enough to put that, and that you remembered where it was from.
we are
Like,
so full of useless knowledge. It's ridiculous.
yeah, but I'm here to tell you, I know way too much about pop culture and murder.
Yep.
Like, if it's pop culture or murder related, I know
You
way
got
too
it.
much.
Yeah.
Before we actually get started, I do want to say something that's bugging me right now
Uh-oh.
because I've seen some people passing around on Facebook this crap. Like, if you don't share the Save Our Children hashtag, we're not going to be friends anymore.
Really?
Yeah, like fuck you, okay? Like I've been an advocate for sex trafficking for
For
longer than you
years.
were
We both
alive,
have for
probably.
years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wrote an article like a year ago in our local like Our Tupelo is a Facebook group and a website that we share local articles and local events and stuff like that. And I write for them, and this podcast is published through them too. Um, Basically, I put an article on there, and then everybody's like, "That shit doesn't happen here."
It happens everywhere.
Yeah,
In
exactly.
every town, in every city in the world, it happens. That's a ridiculous statement to make.
So I just want to say to certain people, like, if you're not going to be my friend because I won't post a goddamn hashtag, but I've been working on trafficking for longer than you even knew it was a thing. Fuck
Yeah.
you.
I
Fuck
do
you.
agree though that if you're going to share the hashtag, it should be save our children, not save the children. Save the Children is a Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and I will have absolutely no part of that. No. So it is save our children if you're going to share it.
I don't really care either way, but like, I don't. a hashtag means nothing to me. Okay, like
Same.
that's really,
I
yeah,
do the stupidest hashtags on my Facebook and
yeah, I
Instagram
do
posts.
too.
I try to come up with the most ridiculous hashtags I can think of. So,
Yeah, I do that too. I
and nobody clicks on
random.
hashtags. Nobody ever, or do they? I don't. I never
I
click on a
don't. I
hashtag.
don't click.
Yeah.
I don't click hashtags, but
Mm-mm.
I I have if they were related to something that I said or did. Like
Sure.
that's about it. Like but it just
It's
it
funny.
really is.
I made up a hashtag for my wedding for people to share pictures to that they took at my wedding. I've never looked at it. I've never clicked on the hashtag. I don't even remember what it is now. It's
I
just
almost spit
I
out my tea.
don't do hashtags. I just yeah,
Yeah,
it's stupid.
but I just I guess I take a special offense to it because I've been an activist in that arena
Yeah, it's almost
for
offensive, huh? Yeah.
yeah, so as for you to say I'm not going to be your friend if you don't use this hashtag,
Yeah.
like I'm like, fuck you. I've been working on this shit before you even knew it was a thing. Okay? Like
It's
that's
like the
all I wanted
meme
to say.
of I can't think of his name or the show it's from, but it just says I know more than you. It's usually related to Halloween stuff, but there's a
Yeah.
meme and it's the guy saying I know more than you. Yeah, you definitely do. It's like if that's all new to you, if sex trafficking is a new concept to you, something that you're just now hearing about, you are so far behind in the times. It's been
And
going
also,
on for 50 fucking years.
I'm going to have to look it up now. If you've heard of the Johnny Gosh case,
I haven't.
it's an older. You probably have. You probably just didn't recognize the name. It's
Okay.
a little boy from that disappeared in the 80s. And he was involved in. I'm trying to find the name of the damn controversy, but he showed up as an adult in the middle of the night to visit his mother to tell her, "Look, I'm okay. I saw you on TV begging for, me to, for information or whatever, And as an adult, he shows up in the middle of the night to her house just to let her know that he was okay. And he basically told her, "Look, I can't give you much detail, but I'm, you know, been basically in doing sex work, like
Oh wow.
since he was a child, he was, kidnapped and did sex parties with all these like politicians and famous people and shit, like, and this is a case that I've known about for many fucking years. Um,
Jeez.
and there's a documentary about it. I can't remember what it's called. Something with the word Johnny in it. Um,
Hmm.
but if you look that up, I think it was on Netflix. I'm not sure if it still is, but I'd watched it a few years back. But I highly recommend that. And it talks about, because there's a specific scandal name for it, like with Pizzagate or, that kind of
Right.
shit. Like
Yeah.
it has its own name because there was a controversy involving some politicians. And I'm not going to name names because I don't know all the details about it, but I do know there were some famous politicians and stuff involved with
Hmm.
that case. And that was going on in the fucking 80s, people. Like this shit's been going on. So when I see people post about it, I'm just like, this doesn't surprise or shock me because I
Right.
already knew it was going on. Like, I don't know. And it's
Hmm.
like also with the whole, I saw another meme that pointed out, like, if you want to do something about child sex abuse, then you got to start with your family
No,
and
I
call,
agree with that too. Call them out. Yeah, your dads, your uncles, your cousins, your
yeah,
brother motherfuckers. Yeah, call them out. I agree with
because
that
that
one.
because it's
What burned me, and
everywhere.
I made a tech or I made a post, but I deleted it. I discarded it. I was like, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to get involved in this. It's too late or whatever it was. I saw a certain person post that exact meme of,
Mhm,
call out your family or whatever, your uncles, your fathers or
mhm,
whatever. And I started thinking, your own brother is a fucking pedophile. Your own brother, I know for a fact, is a pedophile child molester. and here you are post, and I wanted to call it out so bad and post on their post. Okay, let's start with your brother, but it was like
Yeah.
I'm not going there. I'm just not going there.
Yeah. But so, like, there's a lot of things you can do, and a hashtag is probably the least of them. So I'm
I
just saying,
agree.
I'm not saying don't do it, because
Sure.
anything to
Any kind
raise
of
awareness
awareness.
is good.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying there's other things too.
Sure.
And don't insult people that aren't doing that, because you may not know what they're doing behind the scenes.
This is true.
So,
I have friends right now, this very minute. I have a couple, they're a married couple, who have been advocates for stopping the sex trafficking forever, for a dozen years or more. They are right now in the Dominican Republic, where sex trafficking is a major hotspot. Like when kids and women get abducted in the United States, one of the portal places that they go through is Dominican Republic, and they are there right now trying to do everything that they can. I wouldn't call it a mission trip or whatever. They just went as a married couple to try to do what they can to stop it in the Dominican Republic. And it's a hard fight, because in the Dominican Republic, it's no big deal. It happens so often, it's just not a big deal.
and it's happening almost every day here. That article that I talked about earlier, the article that I wrote, I interviewed a local cop, but he wanted to remain anonymous because there was active investigations. So he didn't want to say too much, and he wanted to remain anonymous because he felt it would that it would hinder their investigations.
Right.
So, but I talked to him, and he said that it was going on constantly here, that
Yeah.
in town, like, and it's not just people, because everybody has that mental picture because they see these posts about, oh, at Kroger or Walmart parking lot somebody tried to grab my kid or whatever, and it's like, no, 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 that's not. And like, they have this mental picture of them grabbing them, putting them in a van, driving over state lines, you never see them again. But that's not always the case either. Sometimes they get your kid or they get whoever, and they hop them up on drugs, get them addicted to drugs, and then they get them into prostitution locally.
Yep.
And that's a big, big problem. Like, or they get them involved in drug running too. Like,
Right.
and I've said this before on the show, and I said this in the article, but people still don't seem to understand it. It's not just kids.
No, it's women. It's women that have been in, they're vulnerable due to being in narcissistic abusive
No, it's not
relationships,
just that.
or
It's not just women either. It's all races,
oh,
genders.
sure. Yeah, no, there's
Um,
boys, men, again, who are vulnerable. Any vulnerable person, any human on the face of the earth, that it can
and
happen to.
it's usually just a matter of opportunity. They'll grab
Sure.
whoever is convenient for them to grab.
Right.
You know, so age, gender, race, none of that matters. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter fat or skinny. They will find something for you to do.
Yeah, it's
Like,
funny. I used to say that too. It was like, well, I'm not ever gonna have to worry about being kidnapped because I'm fat, but they'll take
yeah,
anybody.
they will, because they will find you. They'll find your ass something to do.
Yeah.
Um, so I just want to reiterate that, because I'm all about save the children. Okay,
Agreed.
save all the children, but that it's a wider problem than that,
Yes,
and
it
it needs to
is.
be recognized. Um, and if you know anything about it, then you do know that.
And I really
Also,
hate that this has come about, and I feel like it's come about for a reason right now during the pandemic, because it's not being as widely talked about as it should be. Like, if
yeah,
there wasn't a pandemic going on right now, this would be the number one story all over the news all the time, of the Hollywood sex trafficking, the pedophile directors and Hollywood would be blowing the fuck up right now. And instead, it's barely even talked about.
yeah, and that's sad.
It is.
Okay, now on to the actual episode,
Oh,
which
I
has
thought this
nothing
was.
to.
I thought this
No,
was the actual episode. Okay.
no, I have a totally different story.
That was
But
a big
I just
sidebar there. Yeah.
it was really bugging me that I've seen people sharing that crap about the hashtag bullshit, and like
Yeah.
I'm like, if you're gonna unfriend me for that, go fucking do it. I don't care.
Yeah.
Okay, like just do it.
I agree.
This is about the My Way killings. Have you heard of those?
I don't think so.
The The My Way killings are a social phenomenon in the Philippines, referring to a number of fatal disputes which arose due to the singing of the song My Way, popularized by Frank Sinatra in karaoke bars.
What?
More, more commonly known as videoke in the Philippines. A New York Times article estimated the number of killings to be about 6 up to 2010. Between 2002 and 2012, numerous people were killed for singing this song. Explanations for these incidents differ from the song being simply frequently sung amongst the nation's karaoke bars where violence is common, or to perceived aggressive lyrics of the song. How's that for a weird case?
Okay. That's a very strange case, and I've never heard of this before. And why? Why that song? It makes no sense.
um, we'll get into that a
I
little
now
bit.
have a mental note to never karaoke that song, though.
I know. And I almost want to sing it for the episode, but then I halfway expect somebody to just show up and be like, "You
Yeah.
sucked at that," and they're going to shoot me up in my doorway. Like
That's
I'm going to
scary.
answer the door and they're going to be like, "You fucking suck at karaoke." Bam.
That is
Um,
so scary.
I know. Karaoke singing is a widespread popular pastime in the Philippines, including among the poor, where many earning about $2 a day in 2007 could purchase time on a videoke machine for 5 pesos, which is about 10 cents in U.S. currency. So that's why all these poor people are doing karaoke, is because it's a cheap hobby. So it's 10 cents per song or whatever
Okay.
to do a song. Filipinos who can afford to do so often get private rooms at karaoke bars. New York Times writer Norimitsu Onishi, say that 10 times in a row,
Yeah.
argued that the killings might be the natural byproduct of the country's culture of violence, drinking, and machismo, which I kind of agree. At least I've never been to the Philippines, but it does have that reputation of
Oh,
being a
sure.
violent place to go.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Violent attacks occur frequently in Filipino karaoke bars, with fights often sparked over breaches of karaoke etiquette, such as laughing at other performers, performing the same song twice, or hogging the microphone. Yeah, I don't need to ever go to the
Nope.
Philippines because I am a real bad mic hog when it comes to karaoke. I'm
You
like,
love
I
your
want to.
karaoke.
Yes, I do, and it runs in my family because we have like karaoke games. My sister and I, and like if we play together, we like fight over who's gonna do what song and
Wow.
shit because we're
And see,
we
I'm
like
opposite. I've only done karaoke one time in my entire life, and of all things, it was singing a duet with your ex-husband in a bar at
what
the broken spoke or whatever it was called. It was that many
what song?
years ago.
Wow,
It was
the
a rock
song.
set. It was a rock set song because
Oh yeah,
I love rock set. So,
yeah,
and
and
they
so did
finally
he.
talked me into it, and it was on my 30th birthday. So it was 15 years ago.
Wow.
I remember it though. I remember it well, but I'll never karaoke again. It was a one-time thing.
Oh God, so many people. It was around the time that redneck woman song came out, and every goddamn body at that bar
I remember.
would
Yeah,
karaoke that song.
it's
It was
so bad,
I could have shot somebody over that myself. Like I'm just like,
right?
stop singing that fucking song. Like cause somebody would sing it and then somebody else would come along and sing it.
Yep.
You're like, oh my
10
God, they
minutes
already did
later.
it.
Yeah,
Pick a fucking different song.
right?
Like Jesus Christ. Um. Anyway, attention to these killings peaked on May 29, 2007, when a 29-year-old karaoke singer was shot dead by a security guard at a bar in San Mateo, Rizal. The guard had complained that the young man's rendition of My Way was off key, but the man refused to stop singing, prompting the guard to pull out a .38 caliber pistol and shoot the man dead.
Okay.
So he was just singing off key and got shot. because he refused to get off the stage.
That's ridiculous. Somebody
They
needs some
take,
anger management in the worst way possible.
and I'm just thinking to myself, like, what would happen if you went in and sang the Sid Vicious version of My Way?
Oh my gosh.
That god awful tone deaf singing of Sid
Yes.
Vicious.
I mean, that'd be me. I'd do
I
that
am
version.
my
Yeah.
like they would probably fucking murder your ass immediately.
That'd be
Um,
me. Yeah.
like they take that song way too seriously, apparently.
I guess so. I mean, I'm tone deaf anyway, which is why I don't karaoke. I can't sing. It would be funny for me to do the Sid Vicious version because it would actually be correct.
Well, I'm an actual musician, and I've sang for a punk band and a
Oh
goth
yeah,
band, and I've done several different genres of music.
right.
But karaoke's different though, because sometimes the key and stuff will be off from the actual song, and it really fucks you up. Because so karaoke's like a whole different animal, really.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what people don't. Because I speaking of that, my niece was playing Rock Band last night, and I went and did Bad Reputation by Joan Jett, and I fucked it up real bad. Anyway,
Oh,
speaking of karaoke, and I was like, damn, I'm embarrassed a little bit to get because I walked down the aisle to Bad
you
Reputation,
did.
and
I was
for
gonna
me to,
say,
yeah,
didn't you? Yeah.
I did because I thought it was funny, but it
Oh,
was
it was
kind of my own
great.
little joke. It was
No,
kind of my own little joke.
it was freaking awesome. It was great. It suited you too. It was perfect.
And and for those that don't know, we had a comic book themed wedding, and I dressed as Wonder Woman. So I
It
came
was
down the aisle
fantastic.
to Bad Reputation dressed as Wonder Woman. Anyway,
And I was a bridesmaid. I was Poison Ivy.
yes,
And
she
I
was.
walked down to David Bowie as the world falls down. Yeah.
Yes.
It was
Hmm.
great. That was one of my favorite weddings ever was your wedding. It was so much fun. As weddings should be. It shouldn't be stuffy black tie, all affair. It was just really fun.
I've had lots of people tell me that. And then since then, I've seen a lot of other people doing weird weddings around here. And I'm like, did I
Mhm.
inspire this?
I think you might have, yeah. I
Because I've
saw
even had people out for a while after the wedding, like, people would be like, yeah, I saw your pictures on Facebook.
yeah.
Like, because somebody they knew was tagged in it or something, and they would end up seeing the pictures from the wedding.
Yeah,
And
it
so
went around.
people I didn't even know would come up and say stuff to me about it. So it was really weird.
It was great.
Um, just when they thought the murders had ended, My Way killing struck again in 2018 when a 60-year-old man was stabbed by his neighbor, 28, during a birthday party in Zamboanga del Norte. Have no idea if I said that right. According to
Okay.
reports, the senior grabbed the mic from his neighbor just when My Way was about to play. A fistfight ensued, ending with the neighbor stabbing the elderly man. He was pronounced dead at the hospital. That's sad,
Hmm.
but I guess you shouldn't grab a mic from somebody when they're about to sing. I mean, like,
I guess so.
I don't think that's a reason to kill somebody, but it's also just
No,
bad etiquette anyway.
I agree.
Some Filipinos, even those who love the song, will not sing it in public in order to avoid trouble or out of superstitious fear. So they're superstitious about it now.
Oh,
Most of the
now.
Filipinos, yeah,
Oh.
now they won't. Now they won't do the freaking song. As of 2007, the song reportedly had been taken off of the playlist of karaoke machines in many bars in Manila after complaints of out-of-tune renditions of the song resulting in violent fights and murders. So a lot of the bars there have taken it off their list to avoid this happening again, basically.
Hmm.
But cases of singers being harassed, assaulted, or killed mid-performance were being reported all over East and Southeast Asia. Incidents of karaoke rage outside of Asia have also been documented. In March 2008, a man was arrested in Thailand for shooting 8 people to death, including his own brother-in-law, in a dispute stemming from several karaoke offerings included repeat renditions of John Denver's "Take Me Home, Country Roads." I don't know, maybe
Hmm.
that probably would get old, but
I'm not.
it's still
Yeah, they
it's still
played
not a
that
reason to kill
song.
somebody.
They played that song at my father-in-law's funeral because he was from West Virginia, so it totally made sense, and he loved that song. But to hear it over and over and over, I think would probably drive me crazy.
Yeah. For for a while, me and my husband were playing Fallout 76, which has that song in
Oh, it
there.
does. Yeah, yeah.
And so we would just like randomly sing it to each other. It was just,
Mhm.
but I mean, we didn't sing the whole freaking song though. We would just
Yeah,
start
just
singing it.
yeah, a little
Or
snippet.
it was like a little joke, you know? It's like,
Sure.
West Virginia! You know, we just like start singing
Yeah,
just to annoy each other and just do it out of the blue just to, as a joke.
sure.
In December 2008, a man at a Malaysian coffee shop hogged the karaoke microphone so long he was stabbed to death by the other patrons. So they just all ganged up
Not
on
just
him.
one,
Yeah,
multiple.
yeah. All the other people that wanted to karaoke just ganged up on the
I
motherfucker.
shouldn't laugh. I really shouldn't
I
laugh.
know they
But I
stabbed
mean,
the motherfucker to death.
when you've got more than one coming at you, stabbing you for your singing, that's you're a worse singer than I am, and I'm sorry
Well,
for
no,
that.
he was just hogging the mic. He wasn't giving other people a turn on the damn microphones. That's why they
Oh,
stabbed him.
okay. My turn, bitch. That's I shouldn't laugh. That's
I
awful.
know, but it is. It's crazy that these people
That's
are taking
just
it that
crazy.
seriously.
I mean, if it was just
Yeah.
one, it would be like, oh my god, that is so awful. Just because but multiple people coming at him, yeah, that's pretty bad.
In August 2012, a fight over the microphone broke out in a Chinese karaoke parlor with a man killing two others with a meat cleaver.
Where the hell did he get a meat cleaver?
I don't know.
These people take their karaoke way too seriously.
I know. I'm like, dude, it's just karaoke. Like,
Wow.
I love karaoke, but I mean, come on.
See, I don't. I'm just not a fan of it. It's fun to go to a bar when you're sober and everyone else is drunk and watch that karaoke, though.
Yeah. Oh, I did that many times at the Broken Spoke because, we ate there a lot because my sister was at that time waitressing there.
Mm.
That's when she was pregnant with Nancy. Oh my God, that's
Aw.
14 years ago. Jesus Christ.
Ah.
14 to 15 years ago.
I
That's,
can't believe it's been that long.
I know. So that's just weird to think of. I love to randomly break out like really old shit that nobody gives a shit about anymore. Like I would karaoke like Delta Dawn up there. Delta Dawn, what's that? Anyway,
Yeah, you used to do that at karaoke. I remember.
yeah, I just love doing weird random shit like that. And I also love like just doing rap or, just different genres to really fuck with people. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's my favorite thing to do is just do a whole bunch of different genres and really mess with people's head. Oh, the the next one. I was like where I lost where I was in the dang notes. In July 2013, an American was stabbed to death for refusing to stop singing in a karaoke bar in Krabi, Thailand. So, yeah, this American just went in there and just was like, I'm going to sing everything. And then they fucking stabbed him because he wouldn't get off the mic.
Oh my god.
In June 2014, a karaoke singer in Seattle, Washington now, this is the U.S., was attacked and beaten by a woman who wanted him to stop singing Coldplay's Yellow.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him.
Oh, I don't know. This it's not funny, but it is. Like I did this whole story is just, and I couldn't find, and I found like I went through so many articles, and some people say the Philippines deaths were 6, and some people say up to 12. But I could not find the individual stories of each one. So I don't know if that shit happens so much that they just didn't report on it or like what. And that just really freaks me out that it's like supposedly this shit happens so much, but I can't find the individual stories. And that kind of makes me a little bit sad that like some of these poor people that died, their stories not getting told because nobody gives a shit, I guess.
I guess.
I guess in a place where violence happens so much that it's
It's
just
just,
like
yeah, it's
whatever.
normal. The Philippines, Thailand, Indonesia, that whole area is just prone for human violence. It just happens. So those are countries I have no real desire to go to, where I have friends who have actually moved to Thailand because you can live like a king there.
Yeah. But anyway, I just wanted to touch on this because I'd heard of it before, and then I came across a mention of it somewhere on social media. It was one of those like sponsored ads for like a list or something. One of that, something like that, came across my feed, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot all about that." I bet that would be one that if y'all haven't heard about it, it's kind of interesting in the fact that it's murder over karaoke. So, you know me, I like to find weird little
No,
cases
yeah,
that are interesting, weird little cases that not as many people have heard about and that are interesting in some way or another. And I think this is interesting in that way because also,
yeah.
people, aside from the fact that people say, well, this is a bad situation where it's at these bars, the
People
Philippines is
are
already
already,
about
yeah, it's already violent. People are drinking, and where
people are
there's,
drinking.
yeah,
And then on top of that, it talks about, specifically like some of the lyrics to the song are very arrogant. Like, it's,
it
I
is. I
don't,
mean, that is
you
one
know,
of the most arrogant songs ever written, I think.
it's
I'm
kind of,
not a
it's
fan
kind of
of it,
like,
honestly.
yeah,
I'm
it's
not
kind
a
of like
fan
a
of Frank
fuck you.
Sinatra, so
Yeah. It's kind of a fuck you, I do what I want kind of song. And so
yeah.
they feel like that people singing that song specifically gets people irritated, like, so I can kind of see that. I still don't think it's a reason to kill
It's
people, but I
not a
think it's
reason
just
to
this,
even hurt someone. It's a reason to say,
yeah,
"Shut the fuck up," and that's about it. So,
maybe, yeah. Whatever happened to throwing tomatoes? I mean, like,
oh,
shit.
I wish we could go back to that. Wouldn't
Yeah, I
that be
know.
great?
Instead of stabbing somebody to death, like, let's
Yeah.
just throw a tomato. I
Or
mean, I
do
don't
like
even.
they do, I think it's in the Middle East, where as an insult they throw shoes. I think a president got a shoe thrown at him one time. I can't
Wow.
remember which one it was. I think it may have been George Bush. I don't know. One of the president, George Bush Jr., I think it was. They had a shoe thrown at him in the Middle East because it's an ultimate insult is to throw a shoe over there. So yeah, we should just start throwing shoes at people.
Yeah. It's like, to be fair, I don't. To be fair,
To be
if you're a letter,
fair,
if you're a Letter Kenny fan,
to be
um,
fair.
um, I don't advocate throwing anything, but I'd much rather
Yeah,
a shoe or a tomato than stabbing somebody to death.
yeah,
You know what I
absolutely.
mean?
Yeah,
Like, I don't advocate any of that. It's just
no.
bullshit.
It's
But
weird, Kay. I'd never heard of this though. To hurt or kill someone over karaoke. That just makes
yeah,
no sense to me.
but
Another reason to for me to chalk up to never going or doing karaoke.
I'm still gonna do it. But most of the time at my sister's house.
Yeah.
Um.
The safety of family and home.
Oh yeah, no, we still get in arguments over it, but ain't nobody gonna hurt anybody.
Yeah, you're not gonna grab a kitchen knife or anything.
No, no, we're not. Maybe as a joke. I'm like thinking back. I'm like, I'm pretty sure somebody has actually pulled out like the biggest knife they had and just were like, shut the fuck up,
Oh, that's great.
But that's
And
family.
playful, yeah.
Yeah. Um, I guess that's all. The shout outs this week, I'm gonna do the Deep Dark Truth, which is who started the network that we're in, the Truth Seekers podcast network. And I'm going to give them a shout out because they did a tweet today listing off a bunch of true crime and paranormal podcasts. And they listed us in that. And then also, I'm going to give a shout out to Trace Evidence because they retweeted it. And I was so damn excited today because I was like, that's a podcast I really like. That's one of in my faves list for podcasts. And I was
Okay.
like really pumped that they retweeted this list that we were on in. So I was like, woohoo. So I'm going to give those both a shout out. Those are both Trace Evidence is just true crime, and Deep Dark Truth does like true crime, paranormal, conspiracies, all that kind of shit like we do. So they're pretty cool. Check those out.
Absolutely.
And until next time, don't kill somebody over karaoke or bad singing.
Absolutely on that for sure. Yeah. Please don't murder anyone because they can't sing or because they're hogging the mic.
Yes, please, because I do hog the mic. So please don't kill me. Please don't.
Think
Um,
think of April.
oh, and I have to give well, I almost forgot to shout out Bonna, especially
Fauna!
because no, I have a karaoke story about me and Bonna because one time at my sister's house, we karaokeed in the bathroom, and me and her did waterfalls together, which is hilarious. And
Oh,
we
I wish there was
remember.
a video.
I know, I do too. I we bring this up from time to time, but I could never ever remember why were we in the bathroom doing karaoke? Why did we have it hooked up in the bathroom? And my sister said, I asked her this yesterday, and my sister said, I'm pretty sure it was because it was just really cold and there was a wall heater in the bathroom.
Makes sense. Makes
And
sense.
so we set the karaoke machine on the toilet and sang.
I love it. That's a great story.
Yeah. So there's your shout out, Bonna, for us singing waterfalls in the bathroom at my sister's house. Anyway,
Perfect.
all right. Talk hard,
Talk
everybody.
hard.